How can you deny our Sheikh when we got the greatest miracle of all time?
Are you serious? What miracles?
Rasulullah's name appeared in South Carolina, and Allah's personal signature is in New York. Allah continually blesses our community with miracles.
Okay, let's talk about these miracles. But first, did I hear you correctly when you said you have the greatest miracle of all time?
Yes, this is in Islamberg, Holy Islamberg, the holiest place on earth, because it has Allah's personal signature on the wall of the masjid, written in his own nur. See, you're speechless. I finally got you. See, you can't even deny the miracles. You've been there, you've seen them.
Yes, sometimes this stuff does leave me speechless. I can't believe people are still saying stuff like this. But let me ask you a question first. Do you base your religion off of miracles and people who claim to have miracles, and like who you follow based off of whatever miracle they show you?
Yes, those sent by Allah come with miracles. And the greater the miracle, the greater the Sheikh. And that's why we have the greatest Sheikh, because we have the greatest miracle of all time in the history of mankind.
Okay, so if I show you a miracle that's greater than the miracles that you guys have in your Jamaat, does that mean you're going to follow me and take bayat to me?
That's impossible.
Well, right here is the greatest miracle of all time. I am showing you right now as we speak the greatest miracle of all time. And this is confirmed by Allah and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, how about it? Are you going to take bayat to me? You want to kiss my hand? You know, I'll only charge you 9%, lowest 7% of all your income. And then you could follow me, because this is the greatest miracle of all time. Okay, I don't really want you to take bayat to me. But we have established that you do not have the greatest miracle of all time. The greatest miracle of all time is the Quran. And anybody that says otherwise is either a liar or ignorant or both. So you could pick which one your sheikh is, or anybody else that claims that you guys have the greatest miracle of all time. But let's get into these alleged miracles that you're talking about. Let's talk about the one that happened in South Carolina first.
Yes, that's where Rasulullah's name appeared on the wall.
Yes, I remember a lot of people seeing these images that appeared on the wall, and it's very clear that the images were a product of the sunlight coming through a window pane. The sun would come through the trees, the light hit the window pane, and the window pane had a certain decorative design in it, and it would cause images through the sunlight to appear on the wall. The same thing that happens in anybody else's house, and it shows random images. And the miracle that you're claiming, one of the images allegedly looked like the name of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is debatable. But it was very clear that it was caused by the sunlight going through a window pane. That's why you could only go see it during a certain time of the day when the sun was showing just right. That's why when the branches fell, the branches moved, or that's why there's no more miracle. You don't see it anymore because the sun isn't hitting the window pane in the same way that it used to hit this window pane. So clearly, for anybody that has any type of common sense, not a miracle.
Then how do you explain Rasulullah's name being on the wall?
Yeah, have you ever looked in the sky, you know, or in nature, or like look up at the stars or the clouds, and you see certain images that may appear like, oh, that cloud, that looks like a duck. I mean, there's lots of different things that happen in nature that appear that could be look like Arabic or any other thing that your mind puts to that image. You know, I can look at the sky and I've seen lots of things that look like maybe Allah's name, some kind of Arabic writing, Prophet Muhammad's name. I don't associate it with being a miracle because it just resembles those things. Every time you look into the sky and you look and see a cloud and it looks like a duck, are you like, oh my gosh, that's a miracle. I can see a duck in the sky.
Well, I think it's a miracle.
That's fine. You're allowed to believe whatever you want to believe. Just because you believe it doesn't mean it's true, and it doesn't mean that it's a miracle. Just like I could look up into the sky and see a cloud that resembles my name in Arabic. It doesn't mean that it's a miracle, you know? So, but let's talk about the alleged miracle that happened in New York.
Allah has his personal name on the wall of the masjid. He wrote it in his own nur, the same nur that destroyed the mountain when Musa alayhi salam asked to see Allah. This is why Islamberg, Holy Islamberg, is the holiest place on the earth.
Wow, you just keep going deeper and deeper. It's really amazing to me. First, the holiest place in the world is Mecca, specifically the Kaaba, you know, the place that billions of Muslims actually make Umrah and Hajj to, that place. And then the second holiest place in the world is Medina, Masjid Nabawi, where Rasul is buried, the first start of Islam civilization in Medina. And the third holiest place in the world is Masjid al-Aqsa, in Jerusalem, the place that Muslims actually used to pray towards before they started facing the Kaaba. These are the three holiest places in the world, and this is confirmed by Allah and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So anybody that says differently does not know basic Islam. And this is just another example of how your cult leader, your sheikh, alleged sheikh, is misguiding y'all. And you believe right now in your so-called masjid in New York that Allah's actual nur is shining on the wall. The same nur that when Musa alayhi salam and his followers asked to see Allah, that Allah said, "You cannot see me," and his nur, or his essence, destroyed a whole entire mountain and killed everyone except for Musa alayhi salam. But y'all, Muslims, y'all cult members on Islamberg have it sitting in your masjid right now. That same nur. The same nur that when Musa alayhi salam, a prophet of Allah, one of the greatest prophets of Allah, asked to see it, was knocked unconscious, and it destroyed an entire mountain. And to which Allah said, "You cannot see me." That same nur is just sitting in your masjid. I mean, you really believe that? And also, please stop calling that place in New York, Islamberg, a masjid. It's not a masjid. Masjids are Allah's house, and it's for Muslims. So Muslims should be able to go there freely and pray, right? That's what a masjid is. What y'all have is not a masjid. It's a musalla. It's a private musalla that y'all pray together at. It's not a masjid because it's not open to all Muslims.
Other Muslims can pray there.
No, they can't. Can I go pray there right now?
No, because you are dangerous.
How am I dangerous? I mean, have I ever plotted to bomb a Hindu community center? Like your sheikh commanded some of your leaders to do? Have I ever firebombed a hotel like, your sheikh commanded some of your leaders to do? Have I ever assassinated anybody? Have I ever, blown off my fingers in a failed bomb attempt? Have I ever done any of that? Like, these things that your sheikh has told people to do? Am I that dangerous? But anyway, let's talk about your alleged miracle. And you say it's the personal signature of Allah. Do you look at that image and honestly think that Allah did that? Does Allah have trouble spelling his name? Does Allah not know Arabic? Does Allah not know the proper way to spell Allah in Arabic text? Because that clearly does not spell Allah. It's all disconnected. It's unclear. It's fuzzy. People see different things when they look at it. Tell me, do you think Allah has problems or trouble or any difficulty in spelling his own name? And also, why, when you actually make pictures or publish pictures of this so-called miracle, that you use Photoshop to enhance the picture? Why does Allah's miracle need to be enhanced by you? And why, when anybody outside of your cult actually looks at that image, they don't see that? They don't see the same thing that you guys are seeing. They don't see Allah's name. They don't see Arabic text. And why even people within your own group who look at that image don't see it? Tell me why. So how can you claim this to be a miracle? It's clearly just a pattern that was a result of staining the wood that when it dried, it looked like something, and you guys are assigning some kind of meaning to it, saying it's a miracle, but it's unclear, it's incorrect Arabic writing, and you have the nerve to say that it's Allah's personal signature?
It's holy. It's a holy place. And that's why Abuji said everyone has to make hijrah to go see the miracle. And if you don't, you're a munafiq.
So when exactly did your sheikh make hijrah or travel to visit this alleged miracle? And when your sheikh was alive and he gave this command, did your sheikh's wife, your new imam, did she travel to visit the miracle? Well, how about, your up-and-coming seventh sultan, your sheikh's son? Did he travel? Has he seen the miracle yet? Since it's like the holiest place in the world, You know, has your sheikh used any of his millions of dollars to like fix up your masjid, fix the roads, maybe add some bathrooms, maybe put a heating system in there so people can come visit it? Has he invested any money in honoring this greatest miracle of all time and the holiest place in the world? Has he done any of that? And just to be clear on this point, a miracle is something that cannot be explained. It is something that cannot be denied by people that look at it. Everybody sees it. It's very clear and it cannot be explained.
But these are signs for our community.
Well, look at the Quran and Sunnah and look at the examples of miracles that happen in our traditions. And traditionally, miracles are shown to non-Muslims before the wrath of Allah comes. Or they're shown to non-Muslims as a proof against them that they're misguided. It's shown to misguided people in most situations. So which category do you fall in? Are you misguided? Is the wrath coming? You know, because if you have all these miracles that Allah is supposedly showing you miracle after miracle after miracle, the only type of people that I know that received miracle after miracle after miracle were the Bani Israel. And we know their status with Allah.
Well, our sheikh moved the moon.
Come on, man. So, really?
We have eyewitness testimony.
Okay. So let's assume that these witnesses actually seen the moon move. Let's say they're telling the truth and that they seen the moon move. It was either an illusion or a result of some kind of witchcraft, which is pretty much the same thing. The moon actually did not move anywhere.
Astaghfirullah, how can you say that?
Simply because scientists all across the world, Americans, Arabs, Europeans, all across the world, Muslim scientists, non-Muslim scientists, have been tracking and documenting the moon for decades. I would even say centuries, right? Not only that, there's billions of people all around the world that look up into the sky and see the moon. Not to mention amateur astrologists that track the moon, all these different things, all these people that could see the moon. And there's no documentation whatsoever of anything strange happening with the moon's natural cycle on that night or any night, right? Because if this would have happened, so many people would have seen the moon move. So many people would have seen the moon move across the sky. It would have been in the newspapers. It would have been on the news. It would have been people get like, you know, people have UFO sightings. These things pop up in the news. Not one shred of documented evidence of anything strange, anything out the ordinary happening with the moon whatsoever on that night. So it would be a worldwide thing where people were saying, hey, did you see what happened to the moon? Did you see what happened to the moon? Even when Rasulullah, when he split the moon, non-Muslims in other countries documented that they seen the moon split. People that were not even there with Rasulullah, travelers that weren't there with Rasulullah that seen the moon split. So you're telling me of all these people in the entire world that were looking up in the sky, watching the moon with telescopes, naked eye, all types of things, satellites, all these different things. And the only people that seen the moon move was a handful of your sheikh's followers.
It's a conspiracy, man. It's a conspiracy to stop our sheikh and to stop his message.
Oh my gosh, here we go with the conspiracies, right? It's a worldwide conspiracy against your no-name sheikh from Pakistan who only has a few thousand African-American followers. It's just this big conspiracy to like keep everything he does a big secret. Nobody cares about your sheikh. Nobody even cares about your community. But let's dig a little bit deeper. How come you have thousands of people in your community, right, that live in America that the moon was showing? You're telling me nobody else seen the moon move except for the people that were there? And how come even people that were there at the same location, at the same incident, on the same night, that were looking into the same sky, didn't see it? Didn't see the same thing that a handful of other people seen? This is a clear evidence of they were either lying or it was an illusion or some kind of witchcraft. Definitely not a miracle.
Yeah, they're probably munafiqs too.
So to summarize, like what you've been saying is that allegedly in your community, you guys have these miracles that pretty much only y'all can see and nobody else can see. Is that correct?
Yes,
Well, good luck with that. That doesn't qualify as a miracle by anybody's standards. And you guys are just claiming everything's a miracle that you guys want to claim as a miracle. I mean, next you're going to claim that you have some kind of miracle water that cures and protects people from COVID.
We got that too.